Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We have our friend Michelle Williams in the studio today. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you today?
Doing well. We're glad to have you. Our buddy Alan Richard over here watching us. He reached out to us a little while back and said that you guys had something really exciting going on, and we want to hear more about that. But first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Michelle Williams. I have been living in Mississippi since the middle 80s, so I call Mississippi home. I'm an avid cyclist, ridden the trace a handful of times. I've done a lot of different programs with beginner cyclists and trying to get more people on bikes. And currently, I'm in the process of working with a new youth development organization called Mississippi NICA, and we're trying to get
Okay.
more Mississippi and Louisiana kids on bikes now.
Okay, and you're the director of the Mississippi NICA, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about what Mississippi NICA is. What's the mission? It's a 501c3, I read.
Yes,
So
yes, it
tell us a
is.
little bit about the mission and the purpose and how people can get involved and all of that good stuff.
So Mississippi NICA, our mission is to help build children with strong minds, strong bodies, strong character, and strong communities. Our values are to have fun because mountain biking is fun, biking is fun. Our organization is intentionally inclusive. We want everybody to feel part and to be able to come and join us. We like to remove all barriers, so we believe in equality. And then we have kids that we teach them respect, not only for their coaches, but for their parents and for the environment in which they're riding in. And as well, like I mentioned a second ago, we like to build a big community.
Okay, so you're building these things through getting them off the couch and getting them out and getting them active and teaching them how to exercise and be a part of a team. Is that sort of the idea behind everything?
Yes, exactly. So our program is for middle schoolers and high schoolers.
Okay.
And the bread and butter of our program is a racing program, but we're more than just racing. What we like to do with our kids is get them out there. And what we have learned is that when you ride with a child on a bike anywhere, their attention span is small. They like to complain about how hot it is, how cold it is, how hungry they are. But when you introduce them to being able to play with other children, and other students and peers of their age and their ability, they get out there and start to play for hours. I got involved with the program with my grandson, and that's what happened with us. Is he had a fairly small attention span for it, but once he got out there with his friends, he would play for hours and hours. They would come back to the trailhead when they were either out of water or hungry, and then they would go right back in, and they would complain and whine about going home because they were having so much fun.
I really like this because it's, I guess I'm crossing over into the old folks zone now, and I catch myself saying these kids these days, all they do is sit in front of the computers and all of that. But it's great. As a child, I remember looking back, and we were never inside, and there's something healthy to that.
Exactly.
Drinking out of the water hose and just playing in the yard all day. I think it's healthy.
And that's what we have found. Our program, we're set up with teams. They can either be a community-based team or a school-based team. With us being a brand new organization, we were just started in January. So this will be our first full season. We'll start in October developing our teams. And then we'll have 4 events, actually 5 events this winter and spring. So we'll have 4 races and what we call an adventure event. We are not all about racing. We're about developing the whole student. So part of our program, they'll be on a team, but we'll teach the kids the different fundamentals that all kids need to have to be able to ride a mountain bike safely. They will learn some race techniques. With our adventure program, what we like to do with our kids is we teach them lifelong skills of riding a bike. They won't always be racers. As they get older, you don't race as much. But what we tend to do then is we like to go explore other places and ride bikes in other places. So what they have to do is go from a racing mentality of riding 4 to 8 miles during a race to an adventure mentality, say we want to go to North Mississippi mountain bike park and ride. They'll need to know how much water they need to carry with them, how much nutrition they need, and a skill a lot of kids don't have anymore is how to read a map. So we teach them how to read the trail maps and how to use their GPS on their phone in order to navigate the system in which they're riding in. So again, we're not just about racing, we're about teaching the student as much as we can about the art of riding a bike. Additionally, we have a stewardship program.
Okay.
What we do with our stewardship program is the kids are riding on bike trails that have typically been put into a community by, mountain bike champions. And so our stewardship committee and what we call the Team Trail Corps will actually take the kids and teach them how to maintain this trail and give back to the community that has put the trails in to begin with. Additionally, we use this as an advocate arm for advocacy, and our students will actually go in and meet with their mayors and local government officials to tell them about our program, and in some cases even ask for additional help or additional trails on the system in that particular community.
That's really great. So you mentioned teams. So tell me a little bit about cost, how often these guys get together. What does it look like practically? Do you meet somewhere? What does a team look like? How many bikers and all of those types of things?
So our teams are only limited in size by the number of coaches we have. So NICA, our governing body, one of their requirements is that we have one coach for every 4 kids. Basically, though, we want to have a ratio of 2 coaches to 8 kids. So a typical team would be able to have the 2 kids or 2 adults and 8 kids. They get to practice whenever it makes sense for them to practice. Most of our teams that we currently have here in Mississippi will practice either 1 to 2 times a week, depending on the season. We have some kids that will participate on a team that they are able to find a cycling or a club that they can go to for spin class. So they will go 1 day a week and go to a spin class during the winter when the time has changed. And so some of our teams will practice the 2 times a week with the spin class, and sometimes in the winter they don't practice but the 1 time a week. And then as soon as the time changes back again, they'll go back to maybe doing 1 practice in the evening and then 1 on the weekend. So it just depends on what works best for a particular team.
And Alan was telling us before we came on, he was telling me before we came on that Natchez is looking for a team, right? Is that?
Yes, exactly. We're looking for a couple coaches and as many kids as we have the correct number of coaches. So right now we're talking to different people in town. We're looking for parents or grandparents or individuals without kids that just enjoy being outdoor and want to share the love of the outdoors with a student in the 6th grade to the 12th grade. And just bring them out here. I believe Duncan Park has some trails here locally, and we've got NICA teaches us how to actually go through and coach kids. We will be having a coaches summit in September 8th through 10th, teaching our potential coaches how to coach and how to teach kids the fundamentals of riding on bikes. And so the national representatives will be here for that.
Awesome. And something that I think was really cool a while ago that you were saying is that it's not limited. We may be able to pull some kids from across the river too and make this a true Miss Lou team.
Exactly. So our first team here in Mississippi was in Ridgeland, and we traveled all the way over to Alabama to participate with the Alabama program. And so we will be definitely welcoming anybody from Louisiana to participate with us. So Miss Lou would definitely be able to have their own community team here, right here in Natchez.
I love this. This is really cool. This is my first time hearing about it, and I'm excited about it already. So what about if people want to, whether it be coaches or if there's a student watching this that said, I would like to participate, how do they do that? Do they contact you or the website?
Yeah, so right now our website is MississippiMTB.org, and there is a link there that you can reach out to reach me. It's info at MississippiMTV.org. And then if anybody has questions and you want to talk to somebody locally, Alan over at his bike shop would be glad to give you additional information.
Okay, great. We'll put all of that information on the screen for everybody, so you'll have that. Is there anything else that you want to go over before we get out of here?
We just want to go ahead and find kids that want to ride bikes and get them active.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming in. I know that you came from one place to here, and you're probably worn out after a busy day, but we appreciate you coming in and sharing this with us. I want to say thank you to everybody watching this. Look, I encourage you to get out, get off the couch, get active. Whether I try to tell myself the same thing because I'm guilty of it myself these days. So hopefully some people watching this will take this challenge, whether it be coaching or riding, participating, or just being more active in your personal life. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching this. Thank you to all of our partners who help make these interviews possible. God bless everybody out there. And as always, have a champion day.